morning students. So back to our programming in C. So in the last classes we have learned about decision making and branching statements in C. Usually for a C program, all the statements in a program will be executed in a sequential order, starting from the first statement, second and so on. But in some cases we may need to alter the sequence of execution of the program statements. For example, in some programs we may have to use some computations, or we may have to repeat some computations, or we may have to make some decisions upon some conditions. In such cases we may have to alter the sequential execution order of statements in a program. So in such cases we must have to use some statements for decision making or for branching. C language supports some of the decision making and the branching statements, such as if statement, switch statement, conditional operator statement, go to statement. Now we have learned about the if statement, simple if statement and the if else statement in the last class. So as we have learned, simple if statement is used to check for a condition, and if the condition becomes true, a particular set of statements could be executed from the program, and if the condition becomes false, some set of statements, a particular set of statements in the program will be skipped from execution. An enhancement of that simple if statement was the if else statement. In that, a condition will be checked, and based upon the condition, result of the condition, if the condition becomes true, a particular block of statements will be executed, and if the condition becomes false, another part of the statements, another part of the program block will be executed. So based upon these two statements, we shall move on to the next one, nesting of if else statement. In some cases, in some situations, we may need to check for more than one conditions in a program. In such cases, we can make use of nesting of if else statements. So when a series of decisions are involved, more than one if else statements can be used in a program. C facilitates such usage, the usage of more than one if else statement in a program. So this is known as nested if else statement. Let's see the general format of using if else statements. If test condition 1. So our first condition is if test condition 1. At first we check for the first condition, and if the first condition becomes true, check for the second condition, and if the second condition becomes also true, execute the statement 1. Else if the second condition is false, then execute the statement 2. Statement 2 is given inside the else part of the second if statement. So if the condition becomes false, the else part statement, the statement inside the else part will be executed. So first, the first condition will be checked, if test condition 1. After checking for the first condition, if the condition becomes false, then it moves to the else part of the if statement. That means if the first condition becomes false, it executes the statement 3 that is given in the else part of the first condition. If the first condition becomes true, it checks for the second condition. If the second condition also becomes true, the statement 1 will be executed. The statement 1 is given immediately after the if statement. So that statement will be executed. The statement given inside the if block will be executed if the condition is found to be true. Else, if the second condition is found to be false, then the else part of the second condition will be executed. That is, the statement 2 given in the else part of the second condition will be executed. So this is how the nesting of if-else statements works. In any case, if the first condition becomes a false or the second condition becomes false, in either cases statement X will be executed, because the statement X is given outside the if-else block, outside both if-else block. So statement X will be executed in any case. Either the condition becomes false or true, statement X will be executed. In case the first condition becomes false, statement 3 will be executed and the control will be transferred to the statement X. Likewise, if the condition 2 becomes true or false, either statement 1 or statement 2 will be executed, and in either cases the control will be transferred to statement X. Okay, that's the logic of nested if-else statement. If the first condition is false, the statement 3 will be executed. That means the statement given in the else part of the first condition will be executed. If the condition 1 is true, it checks for the second condition. If the second condition is true, the statement 1, that is the statement given in the second if loop, will be executed. If the first statement is true and the second statement becomes false, then the statement given inside the else block of the second if condition will be executed. In any case, the statement X given outside the if else block will be executed. Now let's see the flowchart of nested if-else statement. From the entry point, first we check for the first condition, and if the condition becomes true, it checks for the second condition. If again the second condition is true, then statement 1 will be executed. After executing the statement 1, the control will be transferred to the statement X. Then, if the first condition is true, it checks for the second condition, and if the second condition becomes false, then it executes the statement 2, that is the statement given in the else part of the second condition. So statement 2 will be executed, and again the control will be transferred to the statement X, that is given outside the if else block. Again, what happens if the first condition itself is false? If the first condition itself becomes a false, then the control will be transferred to the third statement, that is the statement given in the else part of the first if statement. So statement 3, in this case statement 3 will be executed. Again the control will be transferred to statement X. So the flowchart makes it clear the logic of nested if-else statement. So let's see an example program that illustrates the usage of if-else nested if-else statements. So the first line of the program, that is #include stdio.h. stdio.h is a header file that includes all the standard input output functions that we may use in our program. We may use printf or scanf functions in our program. So for using the scanf and printf statements, we might have to include the header files in our program. So #include stdio.h. Then the next statement is the void main. Void is used to specify that the function returns no value to the operating system. If any function returns no value to the operating system, it may be specified as the void type. So here our main function is specified as a void type, and inside the main function, always a program starts its execution from the main function. So inside the main function, the first statement given inside the main function is int num equal to 1. This statement is used for variable declaration. Here we declare a variable. As we have learned, for variable declaration we must first specify the data type. Here our data type is int. Int is the data type. Num is our variable name. So it declares that num is a variable of type integer. And in the same statement we have given assigned the value 1 to the variable num. So with the same statement we have declared a variable and initiated the variable, assigned the value to that variable. So with this statement we declare that num is a variable of type integer and its value is equal to 1. Then we check for the condition. Our first condition is if num less than 10. Is it num less than 10? No, we have declared num equal to 1. So the value of num is 1. So this condition is true. Num is less than 10. If num is less than 10, the first condition is true. So it checks for the second condition. What is the second condition? If num equal to 1, it checks whether num value is equal to 1. Remember, double equal to is used to assign, or it is used as a relational operator to check whether the value is equal to 1. A single equal to sign is used to assign a value to the variable, and double equal to sign is used as a relational operator here. That means it checks whether the number value of num is equal to 1. Is it equal to 1? Yes, we have given num equal to 1. So if num equal to 1, this condition becomes true. So what happens when the condition becomes true? The statement given immediately after the if statement will be executed. Here the statement is printf value is %d \n comma num. Printf statement, with the printf statement we have given that the value is, the message given inside the double quotes will be printed as such, will be displayed as the value is, and %d is used to specify that the value, the second argument in this function is an integer 1, because num is given an integer value and declared itself as an integer value. So we have to specify %d when displaying the value of num. So we are given the %d \n. As you know, \n is a new line character that is used to get the display in a separate new line, and it is followed by a comma, and the value to be printed is specified here. That means we are going to display the value of num. So this statement will be displayed. This statement will be executed because at first we check whether num less than 10. For our value num equal to 1, so it is less than 10, the condition becomes true. So if the condition becomes true, the second condition will be checked. The second condition is if num equal to 1. Yes, our condition is true for this case because num value is equal to 1. So the statement immediately following the second condition statement will be executed. Here the value of num will be displayed. Our output will be the value is 1. Okay, so in this case the other part, that is the else part of both the if statements will not be executed, because in this case first condition and the second condition becomes true. So the after displaying the value of num, it skips all the other else part statements. So in this case else part will not be displayed, that is printf the value is greater than 1, that will not be printed, and printf the value is greater than 10, and that will not be executed. So these two statements will not be executed. That means the statements given in the else part will not be executed because the condition became true, and it stops execution here. We had not given any default statements out of the if else statements, so the execution stops by displaying the value is 1. Okay, is it clear now? Let's move on to the other topic, a further enhancement of the if else nested if else statements, that is the else if ladder. So in some cases we may have to use multi-path decisions in our programs. The multi-path decision is a chain of if statements. In that, the statement associated with each else statement is an if statement. So each else statement will be associated with an if statement also. So this is the multi-path decisions. In that case, we may have to use multiple if statement and else statement, and in else if ladder, else statement, each else statement will be associated with an if statement. So let's see what is the general form of using else if ladder. The first one, if condition 1 statement 1, that means as we have seen earlier, it first checks for the condition 1. If the condition becomes true, the statement 1 will be executed. If the first condition is true, the statement 1 will be executed and the flow of control is transferred to the statement X. See, if the first condition becomes true, statement 1 will be executed, that is the statement given immediately after the if statement inside the if block will be executed and the control is transferred to the statement X. All other statements will be skipped in this case. If the first condition becomes false, it executes the default statements. If the first condition becomes false, the execution will be, the flow of execution will be transferred to default statement and then to the statement X. Here in either case, statement X will be executed because it is given outside all the if else statement. Now, as we said, after checking for the first condition, if the condition is true, statement 1 will be executed. If the condition becomes false, if the condition first condition becomes false, then second condition will be executed, second condition will be checked, and if the second condition is true, statement 2 will be executed and the control is transferred to the statement X. And if the second condition is false, then it checks for the third condition, else if condition 3. If that condition is true, again the statement 3 will be executed and the flow of control will be transferred to statement X, etc. up to condition n. That means we can specify any number of else if ladder in a program, but usage of else if ladder decreases the readability or understandability of the program because the complexity of the program increases with the usage of else if ladder. So this is the general form of usage of else if ladder. Let's see the flow chart. Starting with the first condition, after checking for the first condition, if the first condition is true, statement 1 will be executed and the control is transferred to the statement just below it, just below the if else block. And if the first condition is found to be false, second condition, it checks for the second condition, and if it becomes true, the second statement, statement 2 given inside that loop will be executed. Again the control is transferred to the statement just below it. Again, if the second condition is false, it executes checks for the third condition and so on. If it is false, then the else body of the else if ladder will be executed and then the other statements given outside the body will be executed in a sequential order. So moving on to an example program. first statement, we know the first statement of the program, any C program will be including the header files in the program stdio.h, and second statement void main. Inside the main block we have declared a variable I of type integer and we have assigned a value 20 to that variable I. Now first we check for the condition. If I equal to 10, check whether I is equal to 10. If this condition is true, it will display the value printf I is 10. So it will, if the condition I equal to 10 is true, it displays I is 10. But in this program we are given the value of I as 20. So I equal to 10 will not be executed. That means the condition becomes false. So the next part, else if I equal to 15 will be checked. If the condition becomes false, first condition becomes false, it executes the else if part. So in the else if part we have given I equal to 15. Is that value equal to 15? No, I value is equal to 20. So this part will be skipped. The printf I is 15 will not be executed. Again the condition becomes false, so it then transfers control to the other else if statement, else if I equal to 20. Here the statement, here the condition becomes true because I value equal to 20. So this condition becomes true. Else if I equal to 20, this condition becomes true. So the control will be transferred to the next statement, that is printf I is 20. So our output will be I is 20. So this else part will not be executed because it stops with the execution I is 20. So the other else part will not be executed. If this condition is found to be false, the else part of this, that is I is not present, will be executed. In this case I is equal to 20, the condition is true. So the program stops execution with displaying the message I is 20. Okay, is it clear? We shall continue with the switch statement on the other class. Thank you. Keep learning.